Welcome to the VE3MIS 2-meter repeater. The time is 6:57 p.m.
Evening, this is Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Bravo Hotel. My name is Brian and I'm your controller this evening for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Emergency Service Net. The purpose of this net is to pass Aries-related traffic and items of interest to the Aries group. When checking in, please announce your call sign using phonetics, followed by your first name. Before we commence any general check-ins, is there any emergency or priority traffic only? Come now, please. Nothing heard. Are there any general check-ins for the Mississauga Aries net? Please come now with your call sign and name.
Victor Echo 3, Delta Romeo Zulu John.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey X-Ray Alpha.
Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Echo Sierra.
I heard 4 stations in there. The ones that I did get the call sign for, VE3HES Mark, VE3WXA Gord, and VE3DRZ John. There was another station trying to get in, and you weren't quite making the repeater. If you want to give it a try again, we'll see if we can get you.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Delta Yankee, Barlow.
Yeah, I got Victor Echo 3, Romeo Delta Yankee, and another station in there, and just not quite making the repeater. Give it a try again, please. Unfortunately, that other station that's trying to get in, it's just not making a repeater. I can hear small chunks of it, but it doesn't hold the repeater. So we'll go to the top of the list, and when we get to the end, maybe we'll see if we can try and get that station again. So, top of the list, John, VE3DRZ. Come on in, John.
Good evening, Brian, and all on frequency. It's VE3DRZ. Nothing really significant to report. The usual aches and pains of getting older, Brian, as we're all aware. But apart from that, everything is really not too bad. I could not copy that final station either, although I did seem to copy the fact that he might have been mobile. I'm just not too sure, but we'll see if we can pick him up later on down the log. Back to you, VE3XBH. This is VE3DRZ.
VE3DRZ, VE3XBH. Okay, John, well, good to hear from you. Glad to hear that everything is okay, and you're just kind of plugging along like the rest of us. John, thanks for checking in. All right, with that, let's go to Gord, VA3WXA. Come on in, Gord.
Good evening, Brian and all on net. Not doing too bad at home, QTH. And it turns out I'll have a lot more to say on Thursday in regards to Canwarn during this meeting, or this month's Aries meeting. I did manage to copy part of what he was of his call sign, Victor Alpha 3 something Lima. That's all I could get. And yeah, like John said, I think he was mobile as well. Back to you.
VA3WXA, VE3XBH. Okay, Gord. And actually, yes, I will mention I haven't posted it. I'll post it after we get done here. But there will be an Aries meeting on Zoom this Thursday at 7:30. They don't have an awful lot of things to discuss, but since we didn't have a meeting the previous month, I thought we should probably at least get together and see if there's anything that anybody wants to talk about. So just a reminder, there's an Aries meeting. And Gord has some info on weather radio and Canwarn. So, Gord, thanks for checking in with us. And with that, let's go to VA3HES. Mark.
Got his horizontal antenna plugged in, not his vertical one, because I can make out his voice, and he was actually just by the house here to pick something up for me, so I think it was him. So Peter, flip your antenna switch. Nothing else to report. We are streaming on YouTube again, and I guess I'll see you guys Thursday for the meeting. I got a couple questions for you guys also. So back to you, Brian.
VA3HES, VE3XBH. Okay, Mark, sounds good, and thanks again for live streaming these nets. That's great. So I'll fire it up and take a look at it. And I guess we'll be seeing you then on Thursday, Mark. Thanks again. All right, with that, let's go to VE3, and I believe it was RDY, and I didn't get your name. If I could get your name, please.
Alpha 3, Bravo Delta Yankee, Barlow. Were you able to get it?
VA3RDY, Barlow, go ahead, please.
It's Bravo Delta Yankee.
I got it that time. VA3 Bravo Delta Yankee, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Here's the on my radio set up again. I built new desks, so set up. Been having some problems with my internet. Seems like cut in and out every day. Back to you, Brian.
Hey, Barlow, I got you in there. You started out really good and then got pretty choppy there. And I did hear you say that you were having a bit of problem. Do you want to give it a try again? VA3BDY, VE3XBH. Barlow, are you there?
Yeah, I just had a loose connection here on the back of the radio. How's my signal?
That's much better now. I can hear you, no problem.
Okay, all good. Nothing to report here. Living life. Back to you.
VA3BDY, VE3XBH. Okay, Barlow. Got you in there okay. I could hear you on direct. You were pretty noisy. I don't think I would have been able to copy you on direct at my QTH at Cawthra and Queensway, but could hear you on the repeater that last round okay. Little noise in the background, but nothing severe, so certainly no problem copying you. Okay, thanks for checking in with us, Barlow. Okay, with that, let's go to, let's call for Peter. VA3ELE, I believe it was.
I actually pulled over for a quick moment, and I'm hearing the repeater quite well. Not quite full quieting, but very strong at James Snow Parkway and the 401, Victor Alpha 3, Echo Lima, Echo Mobile. And that's it, just giving a check for the log, no traffic.
VA3ELE, VE3XBH. Okay, Peter, well, sounds good. You're getting into the repeater, no problem. I could hear you on direct, but very, very noisy at my location. But certainly making the repeater, no problem. Okay, with that, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else who would like to check into the Mississauga Aries net? Please come now.
Alpha 3, Tango, Zulu. We're losing a lot of signal. Anyway, 73 for now, VA3ELE.
VA3ELE, VE3XBH. Okay, Peter, thanks for that, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. Thanks again for checking in. Okay, with that, let's go to Jacques, VA3TTZ. Jacques, come on in.
VE3XBH, VA3TTZ, good evening, Brian. Sorry I doubled on the last QSO. Yeah, it's been a while since I checked in on this net. I just got busy lately, but I I can copy you very, very well. You're full quieting on the repeater. Over to you.
Okay, Jacques. Well, you're getting into the repeater, no problem, and I could also had a good signal on direct from you, so certainly no problems there. Anything else?
I just turned on my Nano VNA for the first time. I bought it just before Christmas, and just today found the time to turn it on and try a few things and watch a few tutorials on the YouTube channels, and so it's working well and good results as well. Over to you.
VA3 TTZ VE3XBH. Okay, Jacques. Well, that sounds good. I'm glad to hear that that it's working out for you, and you can do quite a bit with them. And yeah, the tutorials really help.
Yeah, I only used it for an SWR reading, so I'll have to learn more about it, but it's a neat little gadget. Back to net control.
Okay, Jacques. Well, that sounds great. Okay, with that, is there anything else before I move along? Okay, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else who would like to check into the Mississauga Aries net? Come now, please.
03 Tango Kilowatt India.
VE3 TKI. Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, how you doing, Brian, and everybody else on net? I just turned the radio on just now, and I heard Jacques' comment on the Nano VNA. And I agree with that. I have one as well, and I've used it to check bandpass filters, and it agrees with very well with the Mini VNA, which we also have a bunch of us bought. And also, I used the Nano VNA to check out Terry Hirsch's new hex beam antenna. He had it upside down on his grass. And the Nano VNA did a pretty good job of checking out the SWR. So I'm going to go back to his place in a couple of days and check it out now that it's up on his tower. But it certainly is a nice little tool, very useful. Okay, Brian, back to you. Oh yes, the other thing is what I'm setting up. I'm going to try to work there's a de-expedition at Cocos Keeling Island, which is on the about 800 kilometers west of Perth in Australia. So I'm setting up to listen for that, and I haven't heard anything yet. So there's only been a couple of spots. Anyway, back to you. Thanks for running the net as usual. VE3 TKI, back to net control.
VE3MIS.
VE3 TKI, VE3XBH. Okay, Michael, that sounds good. Be kind of interesting to see what differences there are in the SWR with the hex beam on the ground as opposed to mounted. Be kind of interesting to see what the difference is.
Boy, there's not much to improve. It's pretty flat and really good SWRs on the ground, and Terry's been using it. He's finding it works really well. I wish I had the space for it here. It's too big, like it's 18 feet across or something, so it would hang out over my neighbor's yard, so I can't use it. Anyway, talk to you later. VE3 TKI.
VE3 TKI, VE3XBH. Okay, Michael, well, thanks for checking in with us, and thanks for that info. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else who'd like to check in? Please come now. Nothing heard, so I guess we'll close the net for this evening. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. This is Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Bravo Hotel, closing the net and returning the repeater to normal use. Thank you all for your participation. Good evening, 7-3, and stay safe.
VTKI testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. VTKI testing, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November, standing by for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday night net.
Echolink DECHLINK Conference.
Good evening. This is Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Zulu Alpha. My name is Brian, and I am your controller tonight for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. This net is available on the club's VHF repeater and echo link between 20:30 hours and approximately 21:45 hours local time in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Stand by, please. In the net on the VE3MIS VHF repeater, tune 145.430 MHz with a negative 600 kHz offset and a 103.5 Hz tone. To participate on Aqualink, connect to the TechLink conference node number 9229. Stand by, please. If you would like to find out more about the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club, visit our website at www.VE3MIS.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra Charlie Alpha. Our email address is VE3MIS@RAC.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra @Romeo Alpha Charlie Charlie Alpha. Stand by, please. The purpose of this net is to pass news and views along to members and visitors of the club. It also provides experience to volunteer operators in net and emergency operating procedures. All check-ins are welcome, and we especially invite non-members to join in. Stand by, please. The Mississauga Amateur Radio Club meets virtually via Zoom conferencing software on the second and the fourth Thursday of each month. Our meetings emphasize comradeship and learning and are open to guests and visitors. See our websites to learn how to join virtual meetings. Non-members who wish to attend should email VE3MIS@RAC.ca to obtain instructions for virtual admissions. Stand by, please. Before we go to our check-ins, we'll just take a quick look at announcements, and just a little reminder this evening is that the net is live streamed on YouTube. So if you have access to a computer and you'd like to listen on YouTube, you can certainly do that. You just look up VE3MIS net in YouTube, and you'll probably find the right channel. Just a couple little reminders that on this repeater, usually the Cross Canada RLP can be heard on Wednesdays from 11 to noon, and that's via IRLP 9013. And on Friday night, the TechNet can be heard between 8 and 10 p.m. Via Aqualink 9229, which is the conference we're connected to right now. Stand by, please. Okay, and the net will be conducted in two rounds, a check-in round and a step-3 round. During the check-in round, check-ins will be called in two broad groups of traffic: short-time check-ins at the beginning and general check-ins after that. Emergency check-ins are accepted at any time. Sometimes mobile, Echolink, and RF check-ins may be called separately to reduce the risk of doubling. Listen carefully and check in with the group that best matches your circumstances. And finally, avoid transmitting more than about 1 minute or so without keying up to prevent system timeouts. Stand by, please. Okay, and again, your controller for tonight's net is me, Brian. My call sign is Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Zulu Alpha. When checking in, please announce your call sign using phonetics followed by your first name. And I think we will start with some short time check-ins. We're going to go with short time RF check-ins first. So if you can't make it for both rounds and you need to get in early, now is the time, but we'll do RF first and then we'll do Aqualink. So short time RF only, please. Come now, please.
Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November, Dawn.
Okay, net control acknowledges VE3 as short-time RF check-in, and Don's checking in from Kleinberg, I think. And let's pass it over to Don. And I have a question for you, Don, but I'll save that. I'll let you come in right now. So net control to VE3 DBN.
This is Victor Echo 3, Delta Bravo November, Don and Kleinberg. I just wanted to touch base and wish everybody a good week and all that sort of thing. I've been messing around with my antenna. I have a VHF antenna. It's really just an end-fed antenna, but I've been messing around with it. But it's too low, so it's a bit compromised at this time. But that's been my excitement this week, and that's all I have, really. I do have some chores and things I've got to do, so I can't be around for the entire net. Back to you.
Of the E3DBN, VA3A net control returning. Okay, Don, don't go away yet, because I heard you talking about your antenna there. You thought it was somewhat compromised, but I'm curious, can you do 40 meters on your antenna, 40 meters at a low altitude, like 12 to 15 feet, VA3A today over to VE3DBN?
VE3DBN here. Yeah, it does work. It's not a bad antenna at all. It's just my range. I don't do well with DX. If I go on an FT8, I've been having a lot of fun with that. Go out on 40 meters, I can get about 1,500, 2,000 miles. The odd time I've got something over in Japan or something like that. But yeah, it does seem to work. It's about, I'd say about maybe 12 or 15 feet off the ground in the middle.
VE3DBN, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Don, very interesting. Oh well, I gotta hook up with you later because I've been lately experimenting a little bit with NVIS antennas in my backyard, and they're relatively short range in 40 meters and 80 meters, but I've just been trying on 40 meters. So I'll have to see, maybe we're gonna try it. But if you're getting a lot of DX, then NVIS kind of works on a different approach. But anyway, we should chat about that at some point later. Anything else, Don? I'll pass it over to you one more time, and then we'll look for some. I'll look for another batch of RF, and then we'll go to some Aqualink short time. So VA3 today over to VE3DBN.
Don here. No, I don't have anything else. Like I said, I don't have lots of DX. My DX, if I get over 1,000 miles, I'm really quite happy. That's pretty good. But it tends to be between here and Florida, and the odd time Puerto Rico, and I've got some in Venezuela and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's where it's at, and certainly give me a call anytime you want, and we'll talk. Back to you.
VE3DBN, VA3A today, net control. Okay, Don, yeah, we'll have to, anyway, we'll chat more about NVIS. Okay, let's see if there are any other RF short-time check-ins, and we'll take RF short-time check-ins right now, and then we'll move on to Aqualink after that. So, if you're out there on RF, you'd like to check in early, can't stay around, come now please, your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by first name, RF only. Okay, nothing heard for RF. Let's try Aqualink. So I'm looking for short-time Aqualink. If you're out there on Aqualink and you'd like to check in, if you can't get in later, need to get something done or whatever the reason, come now please with your call sign, spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. Aqualink only, please. Short-time Aqualink. Okay, nothing heard for a short time Echolink, and let's go back. Let's go right into general check-ins, and we'll start with RF. So if you're out there on RF and you'd like to check in the general round, come now please with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. RF only, please.
Victor Echo 3, Whiskey Bravo Foxtrot, name is Barry, over.
Alpha 3, Golf Delta 2, Gary, Toronto, Hotel, Charles, over.
Victor Alpha 3, Hotel Echo Sierra, Martin, Mississauga.
Okay, net control acknowledges. I think I got 3 check-ins, but I suspect I heard a 4th one in there. And let's see. I thought just before we do a read back here, maybe I'll try that 4th call sign. I thought I heard Charles in there, but you may have doubled with someone. Anyway, let's see if Charles is there. I think the name was Charles. It seemed that the call sign may have been doubled with someone else, but if Charles is there, try it one more time. See if I can get your call sign. Come now, please.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Echo Hotel. This is Charles, Toronto.
Over. Roger. Okay, Victor, I think it was Alpha 3, Charlie Echo Hotel, and I think it was Charles in Toronto. And okay, that's good. So I've had 4 check-ins there. So VA3CEH, VA3HES, that was Mark. VA3GDZ, that was Gary. VE3WBF, and that was Barry. So we've got 4 RF check-ins there. Let's go to the top of the list. There's Barry. Barry, hope all is well with you, and I'll pass it to you. Net control to VE3WBF.
Net control, this is Victor Echo 3, Whiskey Bravo Foxtrot. Good evening, and it's been a quiet week, nothing much to report here. I was a little disappointed with the COVID appointment registration. They had a lot of promising, but really when it showed up, it was still 80 and over, so it didn't hit my age group yet. That's all I've got, and I'll be around for just the first round. Back to net control. This is Victor Echo 3, Whiskey Bravo Foxtrot, over.
Victor Echo 3, Whiskey Bravo Foxtrot. This is VA3 today, net control today. Okay, Barry, yeah, I guess that was the big news here on Monday, the rollout of the registration system. And yeah, I guess it was announced as available, but it was only really aimed at a certain age group, as far as I could tell. But I have to admit the rules are a little bit opaque. So yeah, it looks like we'll be, unless you're over 80, I guess, I'll be waiting for another slot at some point. And I guess it was pretty busy too. But I know it was recommended that people not even try to register if you didn't fit that particular criteria, but probably people did. Anyway, now at least it started, so I guess things will start ramping up a little bit as long as they have vaccine. Anything else, Barry? Net control to VE3WBF.
Nothing from me, so I'll send it back to you. This is VE3WBF, over.
VE3WBF, VA3A today. Okay, Barry, thanks very much for joining us. And next on the list, I have VA3GDZ, Gary. And Gary, hope all is well with you. I saw your message there about there's a little bit of, I guess on the RF side, there's a little bit of noise. I'm on Echolink right now, so I did notice that got my radio here on the HTs turned on with the volume turned down, And I can see there's some activity, and I thought I heard it burst through at the Echolink side there for a second, so I don't know if you can give us a sense of what's going on there on the RF side. Net control to VA3 GDZ.
Good evening there, Brian, and hi to all on the net. I see that the other conferences haven't connected in yet, so you're probably just going to get us locals, and I see Reg is in there, at least on Echolink. Looking forward to hearing him because of his big event coming this Friday. Yeah, in terms of reception, I thought I'd be brave and try RF tonight. You're just doing a terrific job on Echolink. It's perfect, but on RF there's a bunch of static bursts. I don't know if the other people who are on RF can hear it as well, or if you can hear it. There's an occasional static burst coming in, so I'm being brave. In terms of the news, my brother and my sister-in-law in Calgary, they're 6 years younger than me. They've got their COVID shot, but here we're going to be waiting quite a while, at least 2 or 3 other groups ahead of us. Unfortunately, we're just not getting the vaccines, and we're a bit behind the 8 ball. I was up in cottage country last week. Boy, did the snow conditions change. I'll let it drop for a sec. Yeah, when we arrived, there was about a foot and a half of snow. We had to shovel in, went out on the lake, snow-covered lake, but with the warm-up spell, you can tell we're into the change of the season, and it turned to piles of slush, and then turned to big puddles, and then there was an overnight freeze near the end of the week, and it turned into a skating rink. So very changeable conditions up there, but nice to get away, and looking forward to the spring weather, which is supposed to start this weekend. So I'll pass it back to you. Count me in for just one tonight. I'll listen as long as I can and do a recheck if I have anything to say. But I'll pass it back to you, Brian. Glad to hear you in there. This is Victor Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, Gary in Etobicoke.
VA3 GDZ, VA3 AZA. Net control. Okay, Gary. Well, thanks for joining us. Always glad to hear from you. And yeah, that's interesting news about what's happening out there in Alberta. So the rules vary, I guess. Maybe it's because we've got so many people here. I don't know, but all I know is I'll be waiting for a little bit. So what can you do? Just keep my fingers crossed that they don't run out of vaccine, I guess. But so I guess there was a tiny bit of, at least on the Echolink side, I did hear the static breakthrough there, just briefly. I think there's a higher threshold that doesn't get through. Maybe it doesn't get through as much as on RF. But anyway, don't know. It's one of those things. Sometimes it gets better as we go along, but we'll see. Okay, next on the list is VA3 HEF, and that is Mark. Mark, hope all is well with you tonight, and I think our live stream is going. I saw it earlier, but I don't know if you can probably confirm. I saw it earlier, just before the net. I think I saw a little bit of the area side. Net control to VA3 HES.
VA3 AZA, VA3 HES. Good evening, Brian, and everyone on that. Mark here in Mississauga at YouTube Master Control. Yes, we are live on the VE3MIS YouTube channel. Noticing the interference tonight on the repeater. I think the RF gods are angry at us tonight. I didn't go leave an offering of coax up on the roof. Hi. Yeah, I guess it's one of those strange things that seems to come in and out. I even noticed a little bit of noise randomly hitting the repeater today earlier while I was monitoring at work. Nothing else to report. Back to you, Brian.
VA3 HES, VA3 AZA, net control returning. Okay, Mark. Yeah, well, what can you do? Sometimes it's there. There's some, for whatever reason, weather, whatever. And I don't know, just sort of ignore it, I guess, for the most part. But I haven't seen it. Oh, I guess today I didn't hear. I wasn't actually listening on the way to and from work, so I didn't notice any. But I've certainly seen it kind of start, come up in a net and then go away after a bit. But anyway, I didn't hear it break through on Echolink. just that one time. Okay, very good. And that takes us down to, I believe it's Charles in Toronto. And I think I had your call sign right, Charles, VA3CEH. I know the CEH part is right, but then I questioned myself about the VA. So you can correct that when you come back. Net control to VA3CEH.
This is VA3 Charlie Echo Hotel, Charles in Flores Village. Good evening, Brian, and everyone on frequency. Yeah, I've got a different radio hooked up tonight. Hopefully, last week, I don't know if you remember, I was having issues with a good signal but low modulation on it, and I'm hoping this radio is a little better. I think the other radio, which is old, I think the mic's just tired, and the radio's so old I don't even think I can find a third-party microphone for it. So I'm still looking online, but I got to tell you, it's pretty hard. Anyway, that's about really all I'm doing here. Had fun today trying to book an appointment for my brother-in-law online for the COVID test. I ended up talking to Timmins for some reason. I have no idea why, but we eventually got him on. Anyway, that's all I've got, Brian. I won't be around for the 73. This is VA3CEH, back to net control.
VA3CEH, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Charles. Yeah, your signal is good. Audio is a little bit low. I could read you, and definitely you're holding on to the repeater. So you're getting through. I can't remember it, the last the time that you were on the radio that you may have had some challenges with. I can't remember offhand what it was like. But it reminds me. I know you said you were looking. You're trying to dig up a microphone, and I remember I was. One time I was looking for a battery for this old Marine handheld. I think I probably talked about it on this net before, but I had this Uniden HT. It was a Marine HT, which I love, and a wonderful little handheld with great audio. And the only problem is I can't get a replacement battery. I think I bought it in 2008 or something like that. It's an MHS 450. I bought it in 2008, and I just cannot find batteries or a battery compartment for regular alkaline batteries. So anyway, I know your pain. Anything else? We'll pass it back to you. Net control to VA3CEH.
Have you gone out to A1 Electronics out in Etobicoke? They've got piles of junk out there that you can probably go through and find all sorts of stuff. They're good for that. I used to go to Active Surplus downtown on Queen Street, but they sold the Gorilla and closed down the store. So the place I go now is to A1 out in Mississauga. It's on North Queen, and they got tons of stuff. And I'm sure lots of people listening have stuck their head in there, done a bit of perusing around. And with that, I'm good. As I said, I won't be around for 73. And thanks for the signal report, and I'll go in and listen to it and see how it is. This is VA3CEH. Back to you, Brian.
VA3CEH, VA3A today. Okay, Charles. Yeah, well, okay, we'll follow you. We'll give it a try at A1 Electronics in Etobicoke. And yeah, sometimes these things are difficult to chase down. The Gorilla at the Active Surplus, yes, he seems to have gone off to other pastures. I guess I remember him quite well. Anyway, that brings us to the end of our first batch of RF general check-ins, and now we'll make a call for Echolink general check-ins. So if you're out there on Echolink and you'd like to join us in the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club's Tuesday night net, come now please with your call sign, spelled phonetically, followed by your first name.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Mike, John in Niagara.
Park in Fern Park, Florida. Okay, Fred, straight here. Good morning. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Yankee 7. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Yankee.
Okay, Net Control acknowledges, let's see, 4 check-ins on Echolink, and from most recent to least recent, there was VA3KKY, that's Kevin, and VK3HJQ, that's John, and K5NO, that's Mark in Florida, and VA3WM, and that is John in Niagara on the Lake. So John's at the top of the list here, and John, hope all is well with you. I guess, yeah, you're kind of watching the spring come in now. We're all watching the spring come in, and I don't know whether it's any warmer over there. It might be a tiny bit, Niagara on the Lake, but we'll pass it to you. Net Control to VA3WM.
VA3AZA in the Mississauga Net. This is John, Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Mike in Niagara on the Lake. And, well, if it's warmer here, I can't tell. It's still quite chilly. You know, the temperatures are hovering around 0, plus side, minus side. It's still pretty close to 0. Anyways, so the Niagara region is rolling out their plan to do the vaccination. And this is just for the 80-plus group of people. And they're doing a good thing, I think. It's trying to make it convenient for people to not travel, not have to travel so much to get their vaccinations. And Niagara Falls and St. Catharines are offering free transit to get you to your vaccination site. Of course, getting the appointment, it's the same pain all the rest of Ontario is experiencing. You know, everybody wants one, and of course they're rushing to get it. I had heard today that one of the vaccination sites is our community center here, and people are calling the community center to book an appointment, which is not the thing to do, but I guess people either don't read, don't listen, or a combination of both, or don't want to hear it. That's the third item. So anyways, Brian, otherwise we're good here. Hope everything's the same with you, and I'll pass it back to you. VA3 is a day, VA3 WM.
VA3WM, VA3AZA, Net Control Terminal. Okay, John, sounds good. Yeah, and I guess like you're right. Sometimes people don't, they're not aware of the instructions, so to speak, or they ignore the instructions or whatever. And yeah, you're not supposed to call the actual site. You're supposed to do everything on the portal, whatever it may be. I guess it's a web page. So and not have things done locally like that, but. Yeah, it'll be a challenge. There's a lot of people, and everybody's desperate, I guess, to get it done. But I guess the portal itself for booking appointments it was flooded and it was overrun with requests. But maybe that's sorted itself out. I think it'd probably be a couple days before all that got sorted out. And I'm still not clear on whether you can attempt to book. The priority is people over 80, but if you don't fit that category, can you attempt to book anyway? And they book into the future. I'm not sure about that, but I'm just sort of waiting for the busyness to subside. Anyway, anything else on the first go here, John? Net Control to VA3WM.
Brian, on the radio front, we're having our Aries meeting tomorrow night, and we're going to be talking about NVIS antennas, and maybe there'll be a group project or something to make some. There were a few examples given. You can buy one. DX Engineering offers one for purchase, so you can get an NVIS antenna if you choose not to build one yourself, or there are instructions out there on how to do it yourself to build a wire antenna. So that's what's happening tomorrow night here. So should be good. Of course, it's a Zoom conference. We had our Zoom coffee break this morning, and it was good. Had it going for over 2.5 hours. So, people like to chat, and, if it's Zoom's the way to do it. That's what we do. VA3ZA, VA3WM. I'll be around for second round. Back to you, Brian.
VA3WM, VA3ZA, net controller tuning. Okay, very interesting there on the Invis, John. It's funny. I was looking recently at the requirements for building Invis antennas. It occurred to me, maybe our club would be people interested in doing that too. And I just said I'd put it just did a little bit of research on Google, put it to Google, the requirements for building Invis antennas, and even shortened 40 meter. By using coils and that sort of, because that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of cheating here. I've got my Invis antennas make use of coils, and it works. It works. There's good, there's pretty good coverage of the band, and I've definitely seen QSOs that correspond to what you would expect from an Invis antenna. To me, it seems like a very, very interesting mode and a way of operating. Who knows? Maybe we could coordinate something between the two clubs, have an Invis day or something. Okay, we'll keep you on the list for a second, go, John. And let's go over to K5NO, and that is Mark in Florida. Mark, good to hear from you. We'll pass it to you. Net control to K5NO.
Well, good evening, Brian. Good evening to the net. VA3AZA from K5NO. Kilowatt 5 Milway, Ontario. The name is Mark. Thanks for Radio Canada. Mark with a C. And the QTH is two words, Fern Park, Florida. Fern Park, Florida, just north of Orlando. I live in an assisted senior center. I've been here since last December, and so far so good. 77 degrees under clear skies, going to a low of 64, and a high of, guess this, 90 degrees during the 3 or 4 p.m. Tomorrow. So nice weather, go out and enjoy it. Not much over there. I just want to say hi and hello to the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club. Take care, all the best, be well, and most importantly, stay safe. Back to you, VA3AZA from K5NO.
K5NO, VA3AZA, net control tuning. Okay, Mark, sounds good. Hey, 90 degrees, geez, could be worse. Could be worse. Up here, I don't know what it is right now. It's about, it's evenings, so it's a bit cooler. Maybe 1 degree or 2 degrees Celsius out there. I'm not sure. But kind of windy lately up here. Is that seasonal change, I guess, that's producing these powerful winds across the cold front. And our weather is basically determined by this Arctic air mass. And it fights with the Gulf air mass. So I think it shifts around this time of year. It goes a little bit south of Toronto and then north of Toronto and kind of flips about until things stabilize. So a little cooler here, definitely not 90 degrees. At some point it'll be that warm. Might get a problem. Well, not quite that warm. We get a few days like that up here, but most of the time it's a little bit cooler even in the summer, around 85 or 80. Good to hear from you. Very good to hear from you. And I'll keep you. I didn't hear whether you'd be here for a second ago. I'll keep you on this. If you're here, great. If not, that's okay too. Okay, let's go to VK3HKQ, and that is John. John, how are you? Maybe you have something to tell us about Invis antennas. Over to you.
It's still morning? No, it's afternoon, 12:04 p.m. New version of Windows out today. Not Windows. Well, there's a new version of Windows every day. A new version of Echolink's just come out after 14 years. I'll put the link in the text box if people want to go there and download it. I installed it, a couple of hours ago. And it looks pretty nifty. Only thing I don't like, it's changed the text in the conference list of where the stations are. And it's put a green box in the bottom where the guessometer meter is. But anyway, I suppose that's only cosmetic. But it has a CQ mode. You can actually put it in CQ mode and call CQ now. Unbelievable. I'll have to try it. It's got time stamping as well, so a couple of little things there. I don't know how much is done in the background. I'll have to read the file on the site to see what they've actually changed in the background. But so far, all good. And I just loaded over the top of the other version, saved everything, of course, because one of the comments in the text box was I do have to save me favourites. Well, when you're backing up or making or doing something new, you should back up everything, but I just dumped it on topical. Well, of course it's going to work, and of course it did. So, new version of Echolink. Wow, what else to report? Don't forget Aris contact tonight, 0832 Zulu. People interested, come over to the ham conference, or RLP or All-Star, wherever you want to get in. We'll be doing a contact of the space station. Thanks, Brian. Back to net. Back out to HJQ.
Well, VK3HJQ, VA3A is the big controller room. Okay, John, very interesting. I saw the remark about new software. I didn't quite read it. I caught a bit of it between check-ins there, and yeah, I didn't even register that it was Echolink client software because I thought it was at the end of the line. So I'll have to go and take a look. And I have the same version everyone else had, I guess. So it was a very, very old version. But yeah, I'll have to go and take a look at that as well. And I guess upgrade. I'll wait to hear news on how well it functions. But anyway, good to know. Yeah, I was so prepared not to see any upgrades or replacements that I didn't even really register when I saw that in the text commentary. Anyway, very good. Okay, let's go down to VA3KKY, and that is Kevin. Kevin, how are you this evening? Over to you.
Not too bad at all. Yep, we're talking on the screen, talking about old things that we still have. At least I am. And I still have my old computers. And I love Winamp. I can't see using any other player. Like, I know there's Real Player and Windows Media. Those are not accessible for me. Winamp is easy to use. It pauses. Fast forward. You can make markers. Like if you have a long file. Let's say if you have a podcast that's 2 or 3 hours long, you can save and chop up parts of it. You can go to the part that you want. You can make markers. I don't know how you do that with the other players like Windows Media or something. I'm sure there's icons and things you can click, but yeah, that's going to do me a lot of good. So yeah, Winamp is so cool, and a lot of these younger cats or newer cats know nothing about it, but Winamp, super, super cool. So I'm not letting that go, most definitely. I love it. It is a good player. All right, and I'm still using I think I'm still on Echolink 1.7 because it works for XP, so I'm still using it. I have no idea what they've done with the newer Echolinks, but it'd be kind of interesting. Anyways, keep me on the list, and I'm here. So I'll turn it back to Nat, VA3KKY.
Well, VA3KKY, VA3A today, net control return. Okay, Kevin, sounds good. Yeah, Winamp. I can't remember. I've run into so many of these programs over the years that I can't keep them straight in my mind. But I remember the name of that program. Funny, I remember quite a few from Linux too. Desktop players in Linux. There's one called Amarok. I remember from a long time ago. Maybe it's still around. But oh yeah, there's usually a tool to suit your purposes. Just put it that way. Whatever they may be. Some people like relatively straightforward players, and other people want full-featured players, and players that are easy to handle with a keyboard, players that aren't easy to handle on the screen. So there's quite a variety of stuff available, that's for sure. Okay, we'll keep you on the list for a second go, and that brings me down to the end of my Echolink check-ins in the first round. Let's make a call for any new RF. We'll take a call for RF check-ins to the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday night. If you're out doing RF only, come now, please.
Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Hotel, Brian.
Okay, net control acknowledges a VE3XBH, and that is Brian. And I think Brian was the only one that came in on RF. Let me just make one more call, and we'll get back to you in a second here, Brian. Let's see if there's anyone else out there on RF. There may have been someone else. I saw my radio light up here, but it could have been something else. If you're out there on RF, and you'd like to get into this round, come now, please. RF only, please.
Alpha 3, Bravo Delta Yankee, Barlow.
Okay, and I think that there was someone there, and your audio is very low, but I think it was VE3 BDY, Bravo Delta Yankee, VE3 BDY, and just come again with that call sign. Maybe if you can step up your power, that's good, and we'll just double check, and then we'll go top of our list here, and Brian, we'll go to you, but come again, that last call sign, VE3 BDY.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Delta Yankee, Barlow.
Okay, we're still, I'm getting part of it, and maybe it doesn't seem to be what I thought it was, and there's a little bit of noise in there, and I'm going to switch over and just, I'm going to take a listen on the RF side here in a second, but I'm just give her one more try, and we'll see if we can straighten this.
Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Delta Yankee, Barlow.
Okay, Roger. Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Delta Yankee. Okay, I got you on the list there. And yeah, your audio is a little bit low. I listened to you on the RF side, and it was better than on the Echolink side. Okay, let's go to VE3XBH first, and that is Brian. Brian, hope everything is good with you this evening, and you're in good health and surviving, and we'll pass it over to you. Net control to VE3XBH.
VA3AZA, VE3XBH. Good evening, Brian, and everybody on net this evening. A little late checking in. Was on the phone with a friend of mine who is also a ham, so we were chatting about all sorts of things, and the time kind of got away from me. So, but anyways, all is good here, Brian. Good to hear the net, and nice to see the stream. Thanks, Mark, for doing the stream. That's great. Got that up and looking at that. So we're kind of watching everything, watching the Echolink and the stream and everything, and just listening along. So all is good here. Hope all is good with everybody else. And I will be around for the second round, Brian. I'll send it back to you. VA3AZA. This is VE3XBH.
VE3XBH, VA3AZA, net control returning. Okay, Brian, we got you down here for a second go as well. Good to hear from you. We're talking about Envis. I just, always interested in talking about Envis and seeing how that works with people. And I know I've asked you about it before, so I think your antennas might be a little bit too high off the ground for that one. But anyway, let's see. Let's go down to VA3 BDY, and I'm going to switch my headset here. I'm going to switch over to the RF and listen directly on RF. So, net control to VA3 BDY.
Good evening, Brian, and everyone on the net. Everything's good here, nothing really to report, and just trying to fix my radios and get them set up. Had a little RF issue there with the antennas, I think. So other than that, not too much. Back to net control.
Okay, VA3 BDY, VA3AZA, net control returning. And yeah, I know I heard you there talking about get your radio up and running and such, and very good. Like I say, the audio is a little bit low into the machine. There is some noise there too, but I'm just looking at my Echolink screen here too. See some of the people who are attending on Echolink. We're able to make out your call sign even though I can. So maybe it's I think it's probably a combination of my ears and the quality of my headset. My headset might be a bit chewed up, but we got you in, and you're definitely hitting the repeater. So that's good news. Okay, let's see. Let's make one more call for in the first round. At the end of the first round here, one more call for Aqualink check-ins. If you're out there on Aqualink and you'd like to join us for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net, come now, please, with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. Aqualink only, please.
Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee, Robert in Sydney. I'm in and out at the moment. I'm not able to talk. VK2DY.
Okay, that control acknowledges VK2DY is in and out. Just a quick check-in. That's okay, Robert. We'll keep you on list anyway for a second, though, just in case you're available for the second round. But I do see, oh my goodness, I see there's the 1K man there is on the screen, and that's Mr. Reg. I don't know if he wants to join us. Come on in and say hello. VK6BQQ, if you want to join us, come on in and tell us about your 1K. Over to you.
Net control, VK6BQQ. I guess we doubled with the VK2 station. And I've seen another one in there, so I'm not sure if we're getting through. Let me check.
VK6BQQ, you're getting through, Reg. I can hear you. Over to you.
Yeah, 1K coming up this weekend. We'll be back over. We did a special on our Flying Pig Net last Sunday over at Air Australia. So this week coming up the 1K, we'll be over at the same location, Air Australia at Jandakot Airport, along with our other folks that do the net the same time now, because you folks jumped ahead an hour, so we're 12 hours instead of 13. In any event, we'll have one session going out in the parking lot for the F Troop, and I'll be inside the location with our 1K net for the Flying Pig Net, and of course our Friday night Tech Net. Anyway, all are welcome. I hope you'll be able to join us, and as I say, it's been quite a trip to get 1,000 weeks consecutive around the world. So that's basically what's going on. Thanks for the net, and do appreciate it. Back to net control. VK6BQQ, Red here in Western Australia.
VK6BQQ, this is VA3A today, net control training. Okay, Red, yeah, so 1,000 nets for the Tech Net and Flying Pig Net. Oh my goodness, that's that's quite a few. I remember a while back I did the calculations because we weren't sure what the date was for it, and I think I made the right calculation. Other people, I mean, you know too when it is the 1K net, but yeah, so this week, hard to believe. That's before you know it, you'll be into 2,000. You'll be the 2K net, but that's a lot of nets. So congratulations, and that's quite a fixture for in the ham world. So it's fantastic. Anyway, we'll keep you on the list here for a second or two, and we'll see who else is here. I can see on my list, I do see some call signs on the Aqualink scheme here. We'll see if anyone wants to check in right now. If you're out there on Aqualink and you'd like to check in, come now, please, to the call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. Aqualink only, please.
Victor Kilo 6, Victor Kilo 6, Golf India Alpha, VK6GIA, Green Head on the Indian Ocean, Western Australia. Good morning.
Okay, VK6 GIA, VK6 GIA, and then you've got Peter on the western side of Australia. Good to hear you, Peter. We'll pass it over to you. Net control to VK6 GIA.
VA3AZA, very good evening to you, sir, from VK6 GIA. I'm about 3.5 hours north of Reg there, VK6BQQ. G'day, Reg. Reg is in Jandakot. I'm in Greenhead on the Indian Ocean out in the Australian bush country. A beautiful morning, clear blue sky, 09:20 in the morning, heading up to about mid-90s here today, but getting hotter apparently. Friday they're talking about probably about 105, but it is autumn and we get a big mix of weather, and also a lot of storms come in this month, but we haven't had that many of them really. We've only had one, and up here at Greenhead we haven't had any rain for a couple of weeks now. We get the odd sprinkle here and there, but no torrential rain, and we really could do with it. Anyhow, good to hear the net, and congratulations, Reg, on 1,000 coming up on Saturday, and I'll be there from VK6GIA. Thanks, everybody. Good morning.
VK6 GIA, VA3A today, and controller training. Okay, Peter. Well, thank you. Thanks very much for joining us this evening. And yeah, it sounds kind of nice where you are. We're still waiting for that kind of nice weather here. There's probably a couple months before it's like that. But good to hear from you. Okay, let's see if there's anyone else out there on Echolink who'd like to join us. If you're out there on Echolink and you'd like to join us at the end of the first round of Mississauga Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net, come now please with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. Echolink only, please. Okay, nothing heard further on Echolink, so we'll go back to the top of the list and have a little 7-3 round, and I'll as usual, I didn't keep the greatest track of who would be here and who would not be here. I think I got some of it right, but let's try Don. He not have said he was going to be here, but I'm going to give him a quick try. Don, VE3DBN, if you're still there and you want to have a 7-3 round, come on in, over to you. VE3DBN. Okay, nothing heard for VE3DBN, and I think Barry said he would not be here, so we'll go down to Gary too. I think said he would. I'm going to give him a try. He said he might be here. VA3GDZ, Gary, if you're still there and you want to do a 7-3 round, come on in. Over to you.
Really hear there, Brian, but it's nice to hear Robert and John and Reg from Australia there. Looking forward to the 1,000. The NVIS issue, I know you're interested in NVIS, and the thing that John mentioned from Niagara about his net, it's been actively discussed on the Hawaii group that I connect with a couple times a week. They have an NVIS map, a Gambit, and a Raytrix link on their website where you can see if your signal will bounce off the ionosphere, how high, how far, that sort of thing. It's fun to play with. I'll just mention the link. If you type in 40meter.net, 40meter.net, and in the middle of the page they have a lot of things for NVIS, because that's really the only way they can connect the islands out in Hawaii. It's a bit too far for line of sight, and that's what they use. So I'll just mention that to them. And I'll say 7 threes to all, and try to listen until the end. This is Victor Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, Gary in the west end of Toronto.
VA3GDZ, VA3A today, net controller training. Okay, Gary, yeah, very interesting at the end of this, for medium distance regional communications. That would be a good choice for islands. I know we've talked about this a little bit before. Islands where we've got mountains and such. So yeah, that's really fascinating. And who knows, maybe we'll be doing some of that in the future. Okay, let's see. Next on my list is Mark of VA3HES. And Mark, hope all is well with you. And I guess the YouTube streaming is working out. I haven't switched over to it. I haven't tried it yet, so I may have to look after it. But we'll pass it to you. Net control to VA3HES.
VA3AZA, VA3HES. Yeah, Brian, we're still chugging along online. Noticed a few people have been watching the stream pretty much continuously, and a number of people have dropped in and out. Before we started this little experiment a few weeks ago, the YouTube channel only had 13 viewers. We're now up, 13 subscribers. We're up to 21. And I encourage anybody in the club or enjoys listening to these nets, please join and follow the VE3MIS YouTube channel. And if you click subscribe, you'll get notified when we're doing a live stream. I'm also trying to make the Friday night sideband 2-meter and 70-centimeter nets also available. I have a few technical hurdles to figure out at MIS, but hopefully I'll continue to be live streaming those. Otherwise, nothing else to report, Brian. Back to you, and thanks again for holding the net tonight.
VA3HES, VA3A today, next control training. Okay, Mark, well, thank you for doing the live stream, and I know you got both nets too. I think you got the Aries, because I saw the tail end of that, as well as the 2-meter net, so yeah, that's great. And now you've got the net on the sideband net, I think it is, on Friday, so yeah, very interesting. What can be hooked up and wired together now, and I guess viewed afterward too, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, great. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Let's try VA3CEH, and that is Charles. Give it a try, Charles. We'll pass it to you. This is the 7-3 round, and that control to VA3CEH.
Nine Whiskey 2 Lima Hotel, contact Malaysia.
Okay, I didn't hear Charles, but I did hear another contact in there, and that was 9 Whiskey 2 Lima Hotel, I believe, and I think that was from Malaysia. Well, we'll take the check-in right now. Charles, I don't think Charles was there, so we'll take 9 Whiskey 2 LHH. Come on in, over to you.
Okay, Roger, thank you very much to you. VA3 Alpha Zulu Alpha, Brian from Alaska again. This is 9 Whiskey 2 Lima Hotel from Kota Baru, Kelantan, Malaysia. Thank you very much to you. Okay, I can join with all friends around the world. For your information, in Malaysia now, 9:38 o'clock morning. Okay, back to you, my friend. VA3 Alpha Zulu Alpha, Brian. This is 9 Whiskey 2 Lima Hotel, Abdullah. Over.
Okay, Roger, 9 Whiskey 2 Lima Hotel. VA3A today in control returning. Very good. Wow. Yeah, so 9:38 in Malaysia in the morning, and yeah, for sure you can reach out around the world on Aqualink, and certainly our net is open to anyone who'd like to check in. So good to hear from you, and hope all is well in Malaysia. We've heard from quite a few here on the western side of the Pacific, at least western from our perspective here in Toronto. But good to hear from you. Okay, let's see. And okay, Charles. Let's try John. VA3WM, John, on Aqualink. Come on in, John, for 7-3 round. Over to you.
VA3ZA from VA3WM. Well, just doing a little bit of surfing around here on my iPad for these NVIS antennas, and why is it that I always land on complicated antenna modeling pages? Maybe one day I'll understand it all, but I'm certainly not there now. Anyways, well, maybe I'll learn something tomorrow night. But anyways, Brian, great net. Got lots of people from all over. And good to hear the report on the YouTube channel. Well, there you go, another mode. But anyway, so I'm going to say 7-3 for now to everyone, and pass it back to you. VA3 today, VA3 WM.
VA3WM, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, John, good to hear from you. And yeah, the antenna modeling stuff. I'm not to the point where I would be able to understand that confidently without considerable research. So I'm just focusing on simpler things I can manage with, like the right length of the radiators, the height off the ground, so the magical stuff that will make it all work. The coil thing is kind of interesting. You get the right number of turns, the right width apart, and the whole thing will work on a shorter length. But anyway, yeah, the modeling, it could be very complicated. But anyway, yeah, you never know. You might find out all the details tomorrow, and before you know it, you'll have a ready-made endless antenna for your backyard. And they're not, at least if they're shortened with coils, they don't have to take up a lot of space, which is kind of interesting. Thanks for joining us, John. Always good to hear from you. And let's see if Mark is still there. K5NO, Mark. If you're still there and you want to come in for a 7-2 round, please join us. Net control to K5NO. Okay, nothing heard on K5NO. Let's try John, VK3HJQ. John, if you're still there, come on in for a 7-3 round. Over to you.
Well, I just got a mouthful of Karen salad sandwich. Wow, I don't know how you're supposed to eat a 4-inch thick sandwich. I tell you what, when my wife makes a salad sandwich, she puts salad in there. Anyway, ain't not much else to report. I just got a mouthful of food. Back to you, VK3HJQ.
VK3HJQ, VA3A, net control returning. Okay, John, hey, maybe it's time for lunch, so what can you do? Anyway, good to hear from you, and hope all goes well for next week, and perhaps hear from you on next Tuesday as well. So we got you now for a check-in. Thanks again for joining us. Let's try Kevin, VA3KKY. Kevin, come on in, over to you.
Okay, no problem, and hope everyone has a very good evening. It's always interesting to hear the DX in here, and then hear about people talking about breakfast when it's like 9:33 right now, Tuesday night here, so it's just kind of strange. But it's always good to hear that, and good luck on your YouTube stream and all that. Hey, now you can blow up the entire world. I mean, no kidding. Now you can, however that goes. So, you guys take care. Have a good Tuesday, and we'll catch some of you on Friday to see the, I guess you said 1,000, well, Reg is 1,000 net. I want to see what new things will happen on Friday. Take care, guys, and we'll be listening. VA3 KKY. Back to net.
VA3KKY, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Kevin, yeah, that's right. On Friday is the 1K net for Red, so that's an event coming up here, and it'll be interesting to hear the net. Let's see. We've got you down for your 7-3, and thanks, Kevin, for joining us. Nice to hear from you. And let's try, we'll go down to VE3XBH, and that's Brian. Net control over to VE3XBH.
VA3A today, VE3XBH. Well, Brian, good net. Thanks very much for doing the net, and Mark, thanks for the live stream. Not really much else to add. Nice to hear everybody this evening. So I'm just going to make it short, sweet. Say 7-3 to everybody. Stay safe, stay well, stay warm, and I'll send it back to you, Brian. 7-3, everyone. The E3AZA of the E3XBH.
VE3XBH, VE3AZA, next door. Okay, Brian, good to hear you. Always glad to hear you on the net. And thanks very much for dropping by. And we'll hear you next week, I think, as well. And let's see, we've got you down for the 7C here, so we'll appreciate that. And that brings me down to VA3BDY, VA3BDY. If you're still there, come on in for the 7-3 round. Over to you. Okay, nothing heard for VA3BDY, but I thought I heard someone else in there, and I'm just going to make a quick call. And I have a feeling it was Kevin, I think, but let's try. If you're just, let's see, can't remember the call sign offhand, but let's see. If you're just trying to get in on RF, come again, and we'll get your call sign.
Good, VA3AZA, VA3KDY. It is Kevin, back to you. I guess you recognized the voice, and that's pretty good. I just stopped by to say hello. I know I'm a little late, so I'm sorry about that, but I do thank you for what you do, and I'll say 7-3 to you and all on frequency, and hopefully we'll get it a little earlier next week. Brian, we'll send it back to you, and thanks for taking me in.
VE3MI.
VA3KDY, VA3AZA, net control tuning. Okay, Kevin, we got you. Glad to hear you. Yeah, hopefully we'll talk again next week too. So that's good. I got you on the list and I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's go over to Robert. Robert was, I think he may have only been a quick check in there, but we'll give him another try. VK2DY, Robert, if you're there and you want to come on in, please do so now for a 7-3 round. Net control to VK2DY. Okay, nothing heard for VK2DY. Let's try VK6 at VQQ. Reg, we'll pass it over to you.
VA3AZA, VK6BQQ. Just had a lady at the front door here dropping off a parcel. Man, they always seem to be in a hurry and come when I'm on the radio. Anyway, all good, Brian. Thanks for the net, and we hope to see everybody Friday night on these very networks. 7-3 for now. VK6BQQ.
2DY is that.
Okay, net control acknowledges VK2DY, and we'll just come to you there in a second, Robert. Thanks, Reg, VK6BQQ. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, just a little reminder for those who will be around for the 1K net. That's the 1,000th net on this Friday. From our point of view here in Eastern North America, this Friday. And certainly on the Mississauga repeater, it probably heard between 8 and 10 p.m., although you may have to connect yourself at that time. But yeah, that's the big event there on Friday. And thanks for reminding us too, Reg. Although I did remember because it's kind of a interesting date. But let's go to VK2DY. Robert is there, and we'll pass it over to you. Net control to VK2DY.
Control, this is Robert, VK2DY in Kelly Village, New South Wales, an all part of the urban sprawl that is Sydney. Barely pushing 19 degrees here, and not going to get much warmer. It's cool, it's wet, it's autumn here in Sydney. It is St. Patrick's Day, so in honor of that, we had an Irish breakfast today. I got some back bacon, actually it's just shortcut side bacon. Which is what we have here, and some beans, and some mushrooms, and some tomatoes, and some eggs, and some black pudding. My wife hates black pudding. I like it, though. What else do we have? That's pretty much it for the breakfast. And then I have a leg of lamb for the evening meal today. I guess that's pretty much what they eat in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. So trying to duplicate it. Other than that, not much else to share. Just wanted to say thank you for running the net in 73. VK2DY, back to net.
VK2DY, VA3A today, net control returning. Okay, Robert, you're right. Gee, you're right. Tomorrow, well, I guess right now it's St. Patrick's Day for you, and it is. We're still on the 16th of March here, so it'll be tomorrow for us. But and I see John has noted in the comments that he had some green burnt toast, and gee, I don't know if I'll have green burnt toast. The green beer sounds okay, but I think Gary's talking about that, but. I don't know about the green bird toast. It could be a little bit unsettling. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us and reminding us of this important occasion on the 17th. Oh, let's see. That brings me down to VK6 GIA, and that is Peter in Greenhead. So, net control over to VK6 GIA. Okay, maybe Peter's not connected there. I didn't see him in the list and didn't hear him there, so that's okay. We got him the first time around. Well, let's see if there are any other check-ins at the end of the 7-3 round of the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club, and I guess we'll take anything RF or Aqualink, and we'll just try to listen carefully and sort it out. So if you're out there and you want to make it into the very end of the net, come now please with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name.
Victor Alpha 3, Victor Whiskey X-Ray, Tom and Etobicoke.
Okay, and control acknowledges call sign VA3 VWX, Victor Alpha 3, Victor Whiskey X-Ray, and that is Tom in Etobicoke. Tom, hope all was well with you, and we'll pass it to you. VA3A today to VA3 VWX.
VA3A is that A. The name skips me, but we've spoken before. Hope everything is well. I just, sorry, my dog's saying hello, you know, dog politics. Yeah, I actually forgot about the net, and I just was tuning the radio around. I heard it going, and I said, oh, let me check in. You know what, your buddy there, Mark, VA3HES, has told me about it before, and I keep forgetting. I'm horrible for that. Anyway, I don't know the topic. It sounds like you guys are talking about food and beer and St. Patrick's Day. When is it, tomorrow or the next day? It's tomorrow, right? Nothing planned for St. Patrick's Day, but you know what? We had a wonderful pasta dish for dinner tonight. I just made some bow tie pasta, a bunch of salt, some basil, and then for the sauce it was, hey Jim, what was that sauce? Anyway, I forget the sauce, but it's one of those, it's an authentic Italian. It's like the one from Italy, not Nella, it's the other one. And I just put in some heavy cream, 30% cream, and turned it into a rosé, from a tomato to a rosé. So that's it. All right, we'll send it back to you for net control from sunny Etobicoke with the palm trees blowing in the wind. VA3VWX back to VA3AZA.
VA3VWX, VA3AZA. Okay, Tom, yeah, those sunny palm trees, that's great. I guess, you know, over here in Mississauga, of course, we can pick the oranges off the trees and the coconuts, but, you know, the waving palm trees are a nice sight, too. And, yeah, well, we didn't really have a topic. We're just, but, of course, beer is sort of a standing topic of conversation. Always welcome at the net, even if it's green, which it will be tomorrow. Yes, you're right. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Okay, well, that brings me to the end of my list. And I'll make one more call here, and maybe we'll reserve this one for Echo Lake. If you're out there on Echo Lake, you're going to get the very last call right now. If you'd like to check into the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday night net, come now, please, with your call sign spelled phonetically, followed by your first name. Echo Lake only. Okay, nothing heard. So I think that's that is the end of the net for us. And let's see. I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any comments, thoughts, or suggestions, you can contact us via email at VE3MIS@RAC.ca. And that's Victor Echo 3, Mike India Sierra at Romeo Alpha Charlie Charlie Alpha. This is VA3AZA. Brian, closing the net and returning the repeater to John will use shortly. Thank you all for your participation, and 7-3 all.
VE3MIS VHF NET Conference disconnected.